William Ferdinand Dore was born on July 7, 1925 in Nevis, the land of beautiful waters. During his 97 years of life, he made a lasting impression on many people with his unwavering principles and singular character. His inspiring persona was largely nurtured by his grandmother and aunt during his formative years. Mr. William Dore.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm lovely. How are you doing today?
I have some pains and so on, but the world doesn't belong to me. And I'm nearly 98 years old. Must have pains. I just take them, as they come. I'm collective in mind. I eat all right. I could still cook.
You can still cook?
Yeah, but I cook regularly. I cook all the time.
What you cooked for breakfast this morning?
This morning, did I cook anything for breakfast? I didn't cook anything. You see, I eat when I feel like eating too, That's the next thing. No.
So what you ate today?
What I ate today, I can't remember. But I ate something or the other.
When was the last time you did an interview?
Oh boy, that's a very long time ago. I can't remember.
Long time ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so the point of this interview is for us to hear your story and share your story and to share with St. Kitts and Nevis and the world the legend that you are, the national treasure that you are. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to start with your childhood.
Well, I was born in Charlestown, Nevis, on the 7th of July, 1925. Soon after I was born in 1925, my father migrated to St. Kitts to work in the St. Kitts Bartley Sugar Factory. And he never came back to Nevis to live. He hardly remembered that he had a son in Nevis named Willie. My grandmother, with whom I lived, was better off than him in Nevis, because she lived on her 4-acre plot of land. She had sheep, goat, pig, cow, duck, all kinds of fruit trees, all kinds of vegetable trees. And she had interest in a fish boat. She lived well up there, but he don't think he couldn't live. My mother, she was not too bad, a bit wayward.
She was wayward?
Yeah, I'm telling you what my frank view. My grandmother felt, my father's mother, that she was not looking after me well enough. And she went to the house where my mother lived and took me up and carried me to live with her. So I grew up in my early days at the feet of my maternal grandmother. She was industrious. She used to work hard. She used to like to sing, and she had a lovely voice. And I believe I got more part of my voice from she and her husband. And she used to read from the Bible every morning and every evening. And I would sit down on her knee and listen to what she's reading. So that when I was 5 years old, I was reading from the New Testament in Sunday school.
Okay.
At 5 years old.
So she invested in your education?
Yes, she invested heavily in my education. And it was who told me that she was saving her money to make certain that I got to the grammar school in St. Kitts. When I went to primary school, I moved pretty rapidly to the school. I got up to the top of the school, standard 7, start by 10, going on to 11. I had a very interesting experience. When she took me to primary school in Charlestown at the age of 5, she told the headmaster I could read, so I shouldn't go in a junior class in standard 1. I could read. And the headmaster said, no, everybody coming here started school at the bottom. So I went to the bottom. And I was laughing at some little children there who saying, C hate the cat, R hate the mat, M hate the man. Big people bigger than me. I'm P. When I see a P, say a B. And so I could identify between the letters of the alphabet and so on. And while the head teacher, the class teacher teaching for our reading sheet, she had a blackboard. I listened to some people by standard 1 who reading out a book, and I got a pull across a book, and I sit on the back and I reading out of this book. Well, time came when my aunt, with whom I then lived after my grandmother died, came to St. Kitts to work. And I came with her, and she lodged me with my father for about a year and a half. He took me to a chap called S.G. Beach, who was in charge of the Bastille Boys School.
Oh, that's who Beach Allen is named after.
Yeah, and Beach, he told Mr. Beach that I have a pass that I come from the junior standard, but I'm no junior standard pupil because I could read and write and spell and so on. So Beach asked me to spell some words, I spell them, write something, I write them, some tables, I did them, add up this, subtract this, I did them. And he took me to school. And on the first morning, he placed me in the standard 1, not the junior standard, and told the teacher to look at me and report at the end of the first day. Well, what I had done. I don't know what the teacher told him, but when I came to school the following day, Tuesday morning, I was moved from standard 1 to standard 2. But at the end of the next week, beginning of the next week, I was transferred to standard 3. Spent some time in standard 3, got promoted to standard 4, and a little while after went back to the university standard 4, going to standard 5. Headmaster said, how you could get from junior standard to standard 5 in 2 years? But when he put me beside the other people, I beaten them in the class.
So you grew up being a very bright boy, a very
I would say that. I would say that. Very bright.
And you attribute this to your grandmother.
Well, I believe I have some innate ability. But she encouraged me and she cultivated it. She loved me, she treated me well, and I believe that it was a very good thing for me to get by with her. So she died when I was 8. I didn't get a chance to go to the grammar school, but that's nothing. Everybody can go to grammar school. I do the teacher examinations, I pass, I come up, they transfer me here, transfer me there, I go wherever they send me.
Why didn't you go to grammar school?
Grammar school? Oh, you come get the money to pay grammar school.
Because Granny died, you didn't have the money.
Yeah, it's expensive, you know.
Okay.
In them days, you couldn't go. Grammar school had 80 and 90 children in it. Thousands of secondary school children you got now. From the Bastille Boys School, 1954 to 1959, not 5 years. I could look back over St. and see architects, builders, surveyors, teachers,
lawyers,
doctors, ministers of religion, who had come to that grouping.
Meet the Johnson family, living a good life. How are they able to afford all this? By switching their mortgage to National. And you too can take advantage of this great offer. Yes, National Bank's Switch Mortgage will make your dreams a reality with the lowest interest rates guaranteed. You will have more disposable income than ever before. Imagine the possibilities. National Bank Switch Mortgage makes all the difference. Come home to National Bank and get your Switch Mortgage today.
Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
William Dore has made an indelible mark on many industries and organizations throughout the Caribbean, primarily St. Kitts, Nevis, and Anguilla. But his greatest acclaim came from being a driving force in the advancement of agriculture and education, the two most vital domains in the world. His performance in both industries is hallmarked as nothing short of exceptional, pioneering, and unmatched. Good afternoon, Mr. Dore. How are you?
Painful, very, very painful, my back and my legs. Diabetes, hypertension, all them things.
But we are alive.
I am very much alive.
And we're thankful.
I am exceedingly thankful.
Amen.
Because a young girl in England, just a little younger than me, a year younger than me, she just dead.
What's the young girl's name?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth? Lizzie just passed?
Yeah.
And
she's a year younger than me.
a year younger than you, so you're about 95 years young?
No, she's 96 when she dead. I'm 97 going on to 98. I'm 97 and a half.
97 and a half. And I saw you had a birthday party?
No, I didn't have a birthday party. but I'm a Rotarian, a past president. And they were having the function and so on, and he ain't coming. So they said they're going to bring a tent, put in my yard, and they bring the food and so on.
But you didn't have a birthday party?
No, I didn't have a birthday party. They came and they partied at my house.
So Willie, tell me about Willie the teacher.
All right, Willie the teacher would start at age 12. I was in the top class of the primary school in Charlestown Boys School, the Standard 7, and had been there for 2 years and had 2 Standard 7 certificates.
Okay.
Nobody else in the school had. And I had to stay in school compulsorily till 16 and only 12. But fortunately, I was rescued because at 12, they wanted a pupil teacher, and I was the only one with 2 certificates. But they had a problem. For pupil teachers had to be between 14 and 16, and I was only 12. So I had to make some kind of arrangement to let me start at 12.
National Home Loans. Get your dream home. All could be yours. Walk through the door. Come take what you need. Get you the keys. All could be yours. What you deserve. National Home Loans. Get your dream home. Get your dream home. Right it. Get your dream home. National Home Loans. Get your dream home.
National Home Loans. Home ownership made easy. When you're with National, you're home.
Were you being paid at 12?
Oh, yes. The princely sum of $1.20 a month. And I got that for 6 months while I was on probation. And at the end of that, I worked the other 6 months for 10 shillings a month, $2.40 a month, minus the 2-cent stamp.
So it's a long time they're paying teachers bad.
That's what I tell you, teachers are all badly paid, always. Each primary school in those days had a head teacher. A couple of people who were called assistant teachers, and then some people who were called pupil teachers. Each school had about half of the staff as pupil teachers. You began work as a pupil teacher, you studied, and you taught class in the day. And at the end of the year, you took an examination. If you passed the first year examination, became a second year, and your salary moved from 10 shillings a month to 15 shillings a month, $3.60. If you passed the second year pupil teacher's examination, you became a third year pupil teacher, and your salary went to 40 shillings a month, $9.60. So by then you have been teaching 3-4 years to get $10 a month. But I'll tell you a little interesting thing about me. They had a regulation that if you are past the third year and you do well in the third year, you get a scholarship to the teacher training college in Barbados or Trinidad or Jamaica. They used to give like 2 scholarships a year for Antigua, Barbuda, Dominica, Montserrat, St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla, and the Virgin Islands. Well, then the year when I took the third year examination and I came first, they stopped giving the scholarship on the third year. They said they're giving it on the examination above that, the junior. So I started the junior the next year, came first. And that year they stopped giving the scholarship on the junior. They gave it to the third class. I went the next year, did the third class, I came first. And they changed it from the second class. And when I did the second class, which was the top qualifying for the assistant teacher, I came first. And they said they stopped giving scholarship for 1 year.
So they didn't want you no scholarship?
No, I wouldn't say that. The policies changed.
Oh, the policies was changed.
And I would say properly, they were stupid in the way in which they operate. But what I have to tell you?
So you worked for 12 years in the system before you went to Teachers
Yeah.
Training College.
Yeah.
And how was Teachers Training College?
Well, the Teachers Training College was a good place. They had a variety of subjects. Well, I took the compulsory subjects and wrote the exam. I was considered very well. I came second in the island examination. But when I came back to St. Kitts with that kind of certificate and record, no increment.
So they wanted to pay you the same thing?
No want to pay, they paid the same thing.
Where did they send you to teach?
And the first thing they sent me to New River Junior School, and I worked there for 2 years as teacher in charge. After that, they sent me to Brownhill as head teacher for 2 years at an old small building with a pack of 20 children. When they get the money from the British government now, they built schools in auspicious places. So they built a junior school, and 225 children were in that. And the old building above had 45 children, and the headmaster stayed there with the 45 and left me with the 225 down in the new building. But for me, to organize, come around there, come on once in a while as a visitor.
He came as a visitor.
Well, yeah, but he never taught down there.
And what was the highest level that you taught at Mr. Dore?
The highest level I taught at the top of the primary school. From Brownhill, I went to West End Anguilla as head teacher. From there, I went back to Gingerland Boys School in Nevis as head teacher. And from there, I came to St. Kitts, to the Bastia Boys School as headmaster, the largest school in St. Kitts, Nevis and Anguilla.
How come you left Nevis?
I was transferred.
Could just transfer you over.
That's right. That is what they did. They just transferred me. They sent me Anguilla. I went.
Were you ever a part of the teachers' union? We had a teachers' union.
The inspectors never used to like unions because unions discuss what's going on in school and criticize inspectors and so on. Inspectors never like that. And inspectors, when they find you are secretary or high-level officer, they transfer you. If you're teaching your care, and they send you there big. And so I'm telling no, these are facts. These are facts I'm telling you.
They did everything possible to discourage you.
Not all, but some did.
Some.
While I was at the Gingerland Boys School in Nevis, I was selected to go to England to spend about 2 years studying the establishment of modern secondary school education. While I was there, the Caribbean Union of Teachers held a conference in Grenada, and there were no representatives from St. Kitts, Nevis and Anguilla. So they came to me and said, "You sure you got teachers in St. Kitts, Nevis and Anguilla? How they have no association?" So when I came back from England now, they sent me to the Bastia Boys School, and there was no teachers association in St. Kitts. I took 2 days leave and rode my bicycle around from school to school, encouraging people to join the Teachers Association.
So you started the teachers' union.
Well, me want to start it. I'll tell you why I did. Okay?
First Federal Cooperative Credit Union, we have a one-of-a-kind business solution that will simplify your business operations and increase your cash flow. Here's how. Earn 0.5% interest per annum paid monthly on your checking account. Get your first checkbook free. Pay no monthly maintenance fees. Get a pre-approved business line of credit. Get a pre-approved Ubiquity MasterCard credit card. Enroll automatically in our Business Rewards program. Pay no fees for our 24/7 depository service. Get free cash management services. Take advantage of our free payroll services. Take advantage of our business advisory service. So what are you waiting for? Visit your nearest branch to open your Business Builder account today. At First Federal, we say yes to building your business.
Caring for you comes naturally. It's a role I cherish deeply. That's why we put you first.
When I walk through the doors of First Federal, I carry with me a heart of commitment. That is why we put you first.
The patience that I have learned from work-life balance benefits my daily interactions because every member matters to us.
Hi, can I have a minute of your time?
Yes, we are here for you.
Okay.
Remember, we listen to your needs. My dedication to your needs is our #1 priority.
We are leaders.
We are nurturers.
We put you first.
William Dore married his wife Cynthia in 1966. She made a lasting impression on him from their very first encounter.
So, Willie, tell me about Mrs. Williams.
Mrs. Dore?
Mrs. Dore.
Mrs. Dore is Cynthia Hazel of South Hill, Anguilla. She had been a pupil teacher in Anguilla. I had met her briefly in 1946 at the teacher's vacation course in St. Kitts, but never seen her again after. Until I was going to Anguilla in 1951. She was by then married. She had a husband and I think one child with her. When I left Anguilla, I went to Nevis, spent 2 years there, and came back to St. Kitts and was told you were going to go to the Bastia Boys School in charge there. So I went to the school. Staff wasn't very good. I had some lazy teachers, and I had some incompetent teachers.
Willie,
I am telling you the facts.
incompetent ain't kind of harsh, Willie.
No.
Jesus.
Not from what I saw. And they got the biggest school, and they're in the biggest part of the country in the Bastia, and they can't spell one word right. What are they but incompetent?
Maybe they did not have enough resources, Willie.
Resources?
Yeah.
Well, how they gonna get them now I get there? I think early in the year, 1954, I was told I was getting an additional teacher. And the young lady came to work. She said she was only in transit because she was going off to England to be trained as a nurse. Well, I had to make use of her. I tried to encourage her and organize her and put her in a particular place. And she liked what was being done. I liked what she was doing too because I thought she was reasonably competent. Because here was I organizing something, put up to you and so on, but nobody on my staff would take up the business to do the work. And she just come into the school from outside. For some reason she decided she wanted to continue teaching because she saw factually what she was producing in school and where she was going. I didn't hear nothing else about you going to England and so on and whatnot. But she's a pretty girl, married, 4 children. But then she got divorced. Me, who used to say, not me and marriage. Trinidad, in England, Anguilla, all about, and so on. Freelance operator.
You was a freelance operator.
All of a sudden.
They really fall in love.
Yeah. What I liked about the lady, she was literate and she loved reading.
Okay.
She was a pretty girl. And she could teach and teach quite well.
You like the teacher in her?
Yes, I like the teacher in her, but the other things and so on as well. And I just decided I'm going to get married to her.
You decide you're going to get married?
Because I issued the invitations to the marriage thing while she was in Barbados at some kind of conference.
So you planned the marriage while she was in Barbados?
I don't know why is it when I tell you something you don't believe me, you know.
Really, you have to ask the woman to marry you before you plan the wedding?
Well, I mean, she was wobbly when she came back, you know. Because while she was in Barbados, she met a lady who I was pretty pally with in England.
Oh, she learned your story.
And, well, she thought that I was kind of getting back her. Now, she thought I was getting back in touch because me and this girl were good. And there are people who think that her last child is mine. But I don't have to worry about that. Because when I came to think it's in 1954, the child was about 3 or 4 months old. And I'd been in England for 2 years. So it couldn't be me.
It couldn't be you.
No, it couldn't be. But obviously not. But I liked the little child. Child took a liking to me too. But I was interested in all of them getting a good, reasonable secondary education. So I worked on that. Two of the children went off to the States to study and never returned. One became an accountant, one became a nurse. And they've now settled themselves up in New Jersey.
Any of y'all children that stayed in St. Kitts?
One stayed for a while, working in banks here, went to Canada, working in banks there, came back, working in Bank of Nova Scotia here, now retired, living in England, in Nevis with her husband.
Do you have any advice for the younger generation?
Yes.
What would you tell them?
Don't think about money when you're working. Think about what you could do to advance the country in which you live. I think too much people think about money for themselves. The other thing I think that people here want to learn to do is to live off the land. We don't like to plant. Everybody like to reap,
but
not like to sow. And there are a number of Caribbean products which could be grown in St. Kitts, and I see them being imported here from around the world. We need to learn to dig up dirt and plant.
Okay.
Some people come here and look at my yard and say, you got a lot of fruit trees, you're lucky. I'm not lucky. Me and my wife dig all the holes, get the plants, grow them, plant them up there. And what you see in the yard is only half of what is here.
Thank you very much for your time, Willie. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your life. Thank you for your legacy.
I'm glad to hear I have legacy and all those things. So I don't think about them. You know, I just do what I have to do and what I feel I should do.